For countless years, the two greatest houses of gods in Norse mythology, the Aesir and the Vanir, were locked in a relentless war. Their conflict thundered across the Nine Realms, shaking the roots of Yggdrasil and sowing pain and strife throughout the cosmos. All manner of beings, from mortals in Midgard to the most ancient of spirits, suffered under the shadow of their endless feud. Blood soaked the fields, tears watered the earth, and the once glorious halls of gods echoed with the toll of loss. Yet, after so much destruction, an undeniable truth emerged in the hearts of both pantheons. No side could ever win outright in this war. If the struggle continued, it would consume everything, leaving only ruin in its wake. But how does such deep enmity give way to peace? How do adversaries, once sworn to each other's destruction, lay down their arms and forge an alliance? The peace pact between the Aesir and the Vanir stands as a pivotal moment in Norse myth, a testament to the wisdom of humility, the power of forgiveness, and the enduring art of diplomacy. The war had begun with the spark of pride and retribution, but as the years dragged on, it became a burden that both sides could no longer bear. At first, the Aesir, who ruled from their resplendent halls in Asgard, fought with the fire of honor and vengeance. Odin, the All-Father, sat atop his high throne, Hlidskjalf, gazing out over all 9 worlds. He saw Midgard, the realm of humanity, scarred and barren, its people starving and desperate, for the gods who ought to nurture them were too busy waging war. Even Asgard itself bore the wounds of conflict. Its golden towers were no longer unmarred, their luster dimmed by the shadow of endless battle. Meanwhile, in the lush world of Vanaheim, the Vanir faced their own devastation. Njordr, king of the Vanir, looked upon forests burned to ash, rivers tinted crimson with blood, and the gentle balance of nature, so fiercely protected by his kin, now in peril. The Vanir drew their strength from the natural world, but the war's demands had weakened their connection to the very essence they sought to defend. Both Odin and Njordr came to a chilling realization. If their war continued, it would spell doom not just for their own houses, but for all of existence. The destruction had grown so vast that the very fabric of the cosmos trembled. Who, they wondered, could claim victory in a world left in ruin? The first steps toward peace did not emerge from grand councils or intricate treaties. Instead, they rose from the shared exhaustion of battle and a dawning sense of kinship among the warriors on both sides. On blood-soaked fields, Aesir and Vanir alike recognized the similarities that bound them. They both cherished the 9 worlds, both defended mortals and spirits, both revered courage, loyalty, and wisdom. The seeds of peace took root in the quiet moments between clashes, as gods and goddesses questioned the purpose of their suffering. Mimir, the wise counselor of the Aesir, was the first to voice what many had begun to feel. He told Odin, "All-Father, wisdom is not found in crushing your enemy, but in turning your enemy into your friend. The Vanir are not foes by nature. They are wounded by the injustices we have caused." These words echoed across the ranks, softening hardened hearts. On the side of the Vanir, Freyja, the mighty goddess of love and sorcery, foresaw the bleak future that awaited if the bloodshed went on. Her powers of prophecy showed her a world weakened to the point it could not withstand Ragnarok, the final calamity. She knew then that peace was the only path forward. With both pantheons yearning for an end to the fighting, the gods gathered for a ceremony that would seal their truce in a manner both solemn and profound. This was no ordinary pact, but a sacred union between 2 mighty houses whose destinies were forever intertwined. They met on neutral ground, in a place where neither Asgard nor Vanaheim held sway. Odin represented the Aesir, Njordr the Vanir. Each brought meaningful gifts as tokens of their sincerity. The ceremony began with an act that might seem strange to mortal eyes. All the gods spat into a great vessel. In Norse culture, this was far from an act of disrespect. It was a deeply significant ritual. Saliva was believed to hold the spirit and essence of a being, and so mingling it in one vessel created a new, unified force. From this mingled essence, a new being sprang forth, Kvasir. He was neither Aesir nor Vanir, but a child of both, embodying the union of their wisdom and power. Kvasir grew into the wisest of all creatures, able to answer any question in the cosmos. He became the living symbol of peace, a reminder that from conflict, something greater can arise. Yet, the gods knew that words and rituals alone were not enough to ensure lasting harmony. To bind their agreement, they chose to exchange hostages, sending their most precious kin to live among former enemies. This was the ultimate gesture of trust, for it meant placing the fate of loved ones in the hands of those who, until recently, had been sworn foes. From Vanaheim, Njordr and his children, Freyr and Freya, journeyed to Asgard. This was a painful sacrifice for the Vanir, as they were sending away their strongest and most beloved. Njordr, god of the sea and wind, brought with him the power to command the elements. Freyr, god of fertility and prosperity, would help bring abundance to Asgard's fields. Freyja, goddess of love and sea-eater magic, would share her mysterious arts and deepen the Aesir's understanding of the cosmos. The Aesir, in turn, sent Hœnir, Odin's brother, and Mimir to live in Vanaheim. Hœnir, known for his will and resolve, represented the Aesir's leadership. Mimir, with his well of ancient knowledge, would serve as a counselor to the Vanir. But peace is rarely so easily won. The Vanir soon discovered that Hœnir was indecisive without Mimir's guidance, leading to frustration and suspicion. Feeling they had been deceived, the Vanir took the drastic step of beheading Mimir and sending his head back to Odin. Odin could have answered this act with renewed war. Instead, he chose a path of wisdom and restraint. He preserved Mimir's head with powerful magic, transforming it into a source of prophecy and insight for all the gods, not just the Aesir. He placed it beside the Well of Erd, where it would serve as a wellspring of wisdom for generations. This act of forgiveness and respect moved the Vanir deeply. They saw that Odin was not simply a war god, but a leader capable of understanding